Okay, so here we go. Was a little complicated at times. You had to really read, but let's see how it goes, how it went. So there's the ad here, leasing it. Calculate the total lease after tax. Assume no mileage charge. So this is kind of like pretend like you're wanting to sign the lease and you're like, how much is it going to cost me, right? We've got the down payment. That's $1,900 plus. For the lease, right, there are 24-month, it's a 24-month lease, and you pay $430 a month plus tax. So there's something you need to do with that. So technically you want to, doesn't really matter which order you do this, but you add taxes to the payment, then you multiply it, in this case, by 24. Okay, so that's all that is to it, and it's really 1,900 plus 558.40, and then your final answer is 13,458.40. I would say you get half a mark for the 1,900, half a mark for doing this part right, and then a full mark for actually understanding I need to add it. That being said, if you didn't add taxes at all, I would go -1. You get 1 out of 2. Right? Dollar sign, 2 decimals, all of that that stuff. Make sure you correct that. Rihanna drove this much at the end of the lease. Calculate the mileage charge. I'm going to subtract 50,000, so I'm 11,487 kilometers over. I'd say you get a mark for that. Okay, now it's 11,487 times, it's 16 cents plus tax. That's 2,058.47. So that's another mark for that. Okay. Hi, Isaiah. You get an escort. Right on. So 2 marks as well. 1 for figuring out how much over, and another mark for multiplying what you got by 16 cents and then adding taxes to it. So 2 and 2. Rihanna chooses to purchase the leased car at the end of the lease. Calculate the cost to purchase the car after tax. So at the end of the lease, we call this, you should recognize that they're asking for the buyout here. Okay, that's essentially what's being asked for. So we got to go to the fact that when it was brand new, it was this much, and now it's saying that the residual value is 65% of what it was brand new. So that's step number 1, figuring out 65% of what it was brand new. And that gives you 20,621.90. If you have that, you get a mark already. Then at the very end, you go 20,621.90, multiply that by 1.12. If I see you adding taxes, you get a mark no matter what, okay? No matter if you got the first part wrong. So that's $23,096.53 if you did it correctly. As your final answer. So if you didn't get the 65% right, lose a full mark. I go minus, like I always go -1, -half, and then I add up all my minuses and take it away from the total. That's usually how I mark. Okay? Determine the total cost of the lease, mileage charge, and purchase after tax. So keep in mind we already added all the taxes, so please don't double tax. So basically, all I need to see here is you adding up these 3 numbers. That's all I need to see. Okay? So I would show that just in case you get that wrong. Just show me that you're adding that up, and then you get 38,000 as 613.40. That's what I got. And if I see you adding up A, B, and C, you get this mark. So it should be doable to still earn this mark, even if you got everything else wrong. This should still stay. Okay? Dominic tells Rihanna that she should have financed the car instead of leasing it. Calculate the total cost to finance the vehicle. Okay? So that's when you go into the finance it. So it's 615. 615, that's the payment, times 12 times 5, right? There's 60. 5 times 12 is 60, right? There's 60 payments. When it comes to loan, you never add taxes to that loan payment, because the loan payment is basically financing what you already taxed, right? It's been already taxed, so don't be adding that again. So this would be 36,900. That's how much it would be to finance. Which option is cheaper, leasing or financing, and by how much? I would say financing is cheaper. So financing by, I just subtract them, and it's 1,713.40. So leasing and then buying versus just financing, it's still cheaper. You own the car at the end of both options, but financing is cheaper. Okay. State and explain one advantage and one disadvantage of leasing as opposed to financing. So advantage, okay, you would say lower monthly payments. Okay, that's good enough. Disadvantage, you can't modify it. Mileage restrictions. What else? Possible wear and tear cost, additional wear and tear cost. You can't claim it as an asset. You can't use it as collateral. All of those things. Okay? So 1 mark for each of those. So what are we at? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So this is out of 11 at the end of the day. So go to the very top. I'm not going to argue with you. A mark out of 11, your name and last name.